Come on a 2-week road trip with us from Brisbane to North Queensland. By the end of the trip, we'd driven over 4,000 kilometres, stopping in a new place for no more than 2 nights. We caught ferries, camped, stayed in fancy hotels, and then slept in the car on the side of the road. I'd say we experienced it all. It was an absolute adventure and we truly loved every place we went. The colour of the water up here is insane. Some of the most beautiful I have ever seen. I think we swam pretty much every day. I mean, why wouldn't you when it looks like this? We did have a few things planned in our itinerary, like seeing the iconic kangaroos on the beach at sunrise, but a lot of our trip was super spontaneous and we just stopped whenever we got tired and wherever we ended up. We explored not only by car, but by bike, skateboard and foot, also squeezing in an outdoor workout on those days we spent a long time in the car. Keeping active on holidays doesn't have to be hard. We were this stoked to find out that the first night it rained was the night we were camping. However, we had an early dinner and played games in the swag, and thankfully had no leaks. We spotted a cassowary on our drive up to Cairns and stopped at many waterfalls which were flowing because of all the rain. We really lived it up in our Cairns accommodation, sat by the pool bar and then went out for the night. We left the car in Cairns and then caught the ferry across to Fitzroy Island. We spent a lovely 24 hours with no service, swimming, hiking, snorkeling and drinking pina coladas in the pool. We also had our first turtle sighting in a rehabilitation centre. A dream that I had for this trip was to be able to see a turtle while we were snorkeling, but that was yet to happen. We headed back to the mainland and then continued driving to Port Douglas. Unseen is us having no clothes left and having to do our washing in the bathtub. This was definitely our biggest day. We turned around and headed south. We knew we had an 8-hour drive ahead of us, but there were so many things we wanted to do and we got a little distracted. Lots of pit stops and a hike that I thought was 5 kilometres, which turned out to be 5 kilometres each way, but it was so worth it. We got snacks and accepted the fact that we'd be driving late into the night.
Tell you what, we are not fresh. Drove to Proserpine, which was an extra hour on where we were going to go last night, and got there about 3:30 because we saw that they had an RV park where we could just pull up, set up the swag and have a little snooze. But we got there and the RV park is closed and they didn't have any other option. So I set up the swag in like the town park and we could not sleep. So it was like 4:30 in the morning and we packed the swag up, got back in the car, drove a little bit closer to Airlie and then slept on the side of the road for 2 hours in the car. And the reason we did all this is because we're going to the Great Barrier Reef literally at 7:30. And we got a bit stuck yesterday and had to do lots of driving. We have just enough time to pack a bag and probably freshen up with some baby wipes before getting on the boat. But that's right, it's lots of fun.
Feeling super seedy, we hopped on the boat to the Great Barrier Reef. It was about a 3-hour trip out and we both got quite seasick. It was so beautiful out there though, so many species of coral, lots and lots of fish, but still no turtle. We headed back to Airlie as the sun was setting, and then we stayed with our friends for a couple of nights. Okay, but seriously, this was such a fun day. We went ocean rafting, we snorkeled, we hiked around Whitehaven Beach, and then we just set up for the day. Like, look at the colour of that water. our friend's place and took the boat to Daydream Island. Stand-up paddleboarding turned headstand competition. On our very last chance to snorkel, and possibly in the murkiest water we'd been in, I finally found my turtle! We caught the boat back to Airlie the next day and then started our big drive home. We set up camp at a highway rest stop, but still made sure we checked out some gorgeous places just off the highway, staying our very last night in Bargara. We drove the last 4 hours home, already starting to plan our next adventure.